So I told that baby go bust, 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 bust.
All right. Next thing I want to chop about is let's go on to the JBP podcast. So they've recently uploaded an episode, a Patreon exclusive. Dang. Shout out to Joe Budden for that toss, because ain't nobody got money for Patreon. But we do have $0 for fucking YouTube because it's free. Shout out to YouTube, man. When I discovered YouTube, I didn't work for 3 days. And then 7 days after that. That's a Michael Scott line. Anyway, cool. So yeah, they've got the recent episode of the Joe Biden podcast, and they've got Jay Tizzo, and you guys know we were catching up with her. We went to see her album rollout and all of that. I don't know if you guys went to listen to the album City Princess, City Cinderella, and yeah, but she's on here. She's talking about it. They're asking her interesting questions, so we're gonna just watch them chop it up, and yeah.
I have another question just about sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me, has there ever been a time where something made it on a song from somebody that wasn't supposed to be on the song? Like not a musician in the session. Just somebody happened to be in the studio and ended up adding a vocal or idea to a song and made it.
Bust, 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 bust.
Not in my session. I learned that early. Like I had an argument with a girl, this was a minute ago, and she really was delusional, really saying she wrote my stuff because she was sitting in there. And I was like, no, you did not. And now I don't play that. Like now I'm like, if you're not contributing, get out in here, get out. Because that is true. Motherfucker send a letter to your lawyer like, hey, I helped. I'm like, help with what? She's like, remember that time I hummed? Bitch, y'all bitches is crazy.
Remember that time I humped? Remember that time I went like, skibbity bop? I did some shit. Give me some points, man. That's crazy. Interesting question.
No, I don't remember the time you humped me. You ain't getting shit. So I try not to let it happen.
More people should do that.
Yeah, kick them out. Yeah. Kick them out. If they not the producer or they not contributing to the song, y'all both agree to that. Don't even let a bitch tap you and say, I think you should, like, because they'll come off easy and like they're trying to like just be cool with you and shit, and then you get a letter from your lawyer, or your lawyer get a thing and like, oh, such and such from such and such said such and such, and now you owe them such and such, and we ain't trying to do that.
So that could really happen though?
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah. I got some letters to send out.
Yes,
you spelled that
wrong.
Right there. You spelled that wrong.
Yeah. That can happen.
Say last, Joel, use money. Oh, I'm retired. You're not getting that. Speaking of lawyers in pub, and you can skip this question if you want, but when the project is a mixtape, how does that count against your any deal?
It counts. You can put a mixtape down. You can put a mixtape and album down. They can request that mixtape down.
Good out there.
Is it different from when you were?
Yes.
Okay. So wait, mixtape didn't count.
Mixtape didn't count. Independent albums didn't count.
Yeah, well,
that's interesting. Yeah, but I have heard the sentiment that sometimes artists will release EPs and stuff like that, or mixtapes, and then the label won't count it as a project. So they still have to deliver. Let's say they had to deliver two more projects, and then they deliver an EP. The label will be like, no, this is not a full length. I think it has something to do with the amount of songs, something to do with the time length of the project, and then also the time length of the contract. So when you sign, let's say you sign a 5-album deal, right? You can't just give all 5 albums in like a year. You know what I mean? Like they'll be like, no, that's not how it works. They're going to stipulate that there's going to be a time in between the projects that you have to wait. It could be like 9 months, 18 months. So it's a long time. So you think about it. So if you're signing a 5-album deal, right? And you gotta wait, let's say you gotta wait a year and a half in between each project. So you can do the maths to see how long it's actually gonna take you to, get out of that deal. So yeah.
Fees didn't count.
Wow.
Nothing counted. That's what
you're out. That's
what the pub deal too.
Yeah.
It counts nowadays. Well, it's different.
We changed the game for you.
Okay, don't do that. Nah, but you can put it down. Of course you can put it down. It's it's on streaming. So it's.
Imagine she goes home, right? Imagine JT goes home and then she finds out that shit doesn't actually count. How crazy would that be? Because it's interesting. I mean, because he used to forget about Joe's time, right? Like Joe's time is not that far. I mean, Joe stopped rapping 2010 maybe? 2008, 2008, I don't know.
No way, it can't count. I mean, y'all was doing it different. Y'all was like passing them out.
Yo, went to Canal. Left the hard copy.
No, I'm
Hey, Rich, don't let talk about old niggas like that.
Oh no, that's funny.
It was a different time, but it's still like I feel like I did my whole mixtape rollout like back in the days, so like the passing out the promo flyers, the thing, everything, going to city, introducing myself. I've been through some shit in the with some shootouts and all type of shit like back in the days. I was outside like a real mixtape, and I wore the shirts, the numbers on it, my Instagram. I promoted myself as how y'all used to. So I hustled it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You in your just listening to the mixtape, I do hear in the first few songs you really speak to your time in the Feds. Like you really went, and then I also see that you launched the No Bars Reform.
Yes, I did. I know.
Like how important has that been just as far as just keeping that experience going and turning it into something
An
positive?
initiative, for other women who've been incarcerated.
How I turned it.
Remember, JT did some time. She was in the trunk, guys. She was in the jail. Whoa.
Well, I mean, it's a huge part of me. Like, I feel like once you go to prison, you're never going to forget that moment. You're going to forever be different if you go to prison. You're never going to be the same person that you was before you went in there. You're going to be totally different. So I can't act like it never happened. I remember when I first got out, I never wanted to talk about it at all. That was like something I took a while to even want to open up about because it just changed you. So now I feel like I want to help people more, especially women. It's so many women in prison for wrong reasons who don't have no help. They'll go to jail for a man who they don't even talk to no more. Or like,
Shout out to them.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, man, for me, the concept of prison is just like, it's so scary, man. It just seems so scary. I don't even lie to you. One of my biggest fears is fucking going to jail, going to prison. Like, no, I don't want to. That place, just like, imagine being in a fucking box, you know what I mean, for majority of the day, for majority of your life, you know what I mean? And you're in a fucking building and there's other people in that building who have done either equivalent worse things that you've done or even worse, far worse. You know, you can be a petty thief. You can like steal a phone and nigga, you're in a fucking jail with a nigga who has stabbed 3 people, shot somebody, ran over a dog, you know, type vibes. It's just like, house way. That is just crazy, man. Like prison for me is just like, I don't know, whoever invented prison, like really, the nigga cooked because that shit is just terrifying. But yeah, shout out to Joe Budden Podcast, shout out to JT. And yeah, let's move on.